understood yesterday's, because if you don't understand it, it makes today's a little harder. What way, if I have positive numbers, what way is that on the number line?
Right.
Right. Negatives are
Left.
left. That'll be important to know today. Alright, we're going to be adding positives and negatives, adding integers, right? Alright, so we're going to learn a couple different methods, and they all get you the same answer. It's really just about which one you like, which one's easier for you, quicker for you, you understand better. So don't worry if one confuses you real bad. Maybe give the second one a try and then decide which one you think you like better. So on the first method, there's a word we got, or a term we got to learn. It's called zero pairs. The zero pair is when you take a positive and a negative and you cancel them out. And when we get done with the steps, you'll see what I mean by canceling out a positive and a negative. So this is method one, or the zero pair method if you want to remember it that way. First thing you're going to do is draw the number of integer signs in the problem. And actually, we'll go ahead, I'll do an example down here. I'll do -5 plus 4. So what I mean, if I draw the number of integer signs in the problem, if I have -5, then I'm going to draw 5 negative symbols. Okay? And now I have +4, so what do you think I'm going to do? Well, no. Huh? I'm going to draw 4 positives, right? You're on the right track, Mark. You're getting ahead of us, though. I'm just trying to do step 1. I'm going to draw 4 positives. So now I've done step 1. Draw the number of integer signs in the problem. There was 5 negatives and 4 positives. The next thing I'm going to do is cancel out the zero pairs. And the zero pair is a positive and negative, so the way I do that is here's one negative, here's one positive. Cancel those out. Do the same thing. One negative, one positive. One negative, one positive, one negative, one positive. What am I left with? One negative. And therefore, the answer is -1. And so the last step is write down the representation of what's left. I have one symbol left, and it was a negative, so it's a -1. Ross.
But what happens if there's like -56 and +54, and it's going to take forever to...
You're right. Everybody hear that? Ross said, what if you have really big numbers like -56 plus 54? This method's going to take forever to draw them out, right?
I think too.
That's why we're going to show you some other methods. Another method. Because you're right, that method, it takes a long time if you have big numbers. It can be a pain. Yeah.
Okay, what if you have like -5 and +5? Is it just equal 0?
Oh, what? So she's saying -5 and +5. So when I did my zero pairs, what would I have left? 0. So my answer would be 0. Exactly. Good question. All right. So let's look at method 2 really quick. Method 2, you're going to start with your finger on the number line at the first number. So if I had this same example, -5 plus 4, And I would start right up here at -5 is what I'm saying. Put your finger on the number line, okay? Then, you're going to go in the direction of the second number sign. That many spaces. And where you stop is going to be your answer. So, like I said, if we're at -5, so I put my finger on -5 and it says +4. So a +4, what do we say what direction is positive? Right. And so we go 4 spaces then to the right. So just count them. 1, 2,
3,
4. What do I end up at? What was my answer when I did it the other way?
-1.
You see how both methods got you the same answer? So that's a way to visualize it too. Okay? Like I said, pick the one that works better in your head. So let's do a couple examples through these. +1 plus +4. You can just do that in your head, can't you? What is it? 5. But I put it up here so you can see that really you're doing the same thing with that as you are with these. You could do the 0 pairs, and I have 1 plus sign, and I have 4 plus signs, and so there's no 0 pairs, are there? So I can't cancel anything out, so I'm just left with 5 plus signs, so my answer is +5 or just plain 5. And you could do it up on the number line. If I was at +1 plus +4, so it's which direction? To the right, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where am I at? 5. So you see, even when you do that in your head, that's really what you're doing. It's the same thing. It's just doing it with negatives and positives. We're starting out visualizing it the simple way, and pretty soon, when you get the hang of it, it'll be a lot easier in your head, almost just like with positives. Kelto.
Why can't you do the 0 pairs? Just take off 1 from the 4.
Oh, but,
That'd be subtracted.
yeah, well look, because what do I have here?
1.
It's a, what type of one though? It's a positive, right? And I have 4 positives here. And to have a 0 pair, what does it say I have to have? A positive and a negative. Cancel each other out, right?
Yeah.
So if I have all positives, then I just add them up, and then their sign's positive, so it's +5. What about here? -3 and -4.
You can't cancel them.
So I have 3 negatives, and then I have 4 negatives. And what'd you say, Riley?
You can't cancel them out.
I can't cancel them, can I? Because they're all
Negative.
negative. So what do I do?
Add
Add them up, and there's how many?
7.
7 of them, but what are they?
Negative.
Negative, so what's my answer?
-7.
-7. Let's look at this on the number line. If I'm at -4, or -3, excuse me, and I'm adding -4 to it, what direction is that? Left. How many places? 4. All right, here we go. No one can count. 3. All right, Ron, we'll try again. We're on -3. We're going to count as we move 4 places to the left.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And my answer?
7.
-7. See how I got the same the same answer again? Both ways will get you the same answer every time if you do them right. All right. So what about -6 plus -4? Who thinks they know how to do it? Colton, what do I do? Which way you want to do it?
Number
You want to do the number line? All right. So where am I?
-4.
What?
-6.
-6, right? The first one. What am I doing now?
Counting 4 place 4, 2, 4, 6.
4 places which way?
To the left.
Why to the left?
Because that's the negative side.
Because it's negative. When it's adding, you see that negative sign, you know that means you're going left. So from -6, I'm going 4 places to the left.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Answer?
-10.
-10. Everybody see that? Everybody agree?
Sir.
What are the parentheses?
No, it's just a lot of times they'll do it because it looks kind of weird, doesn't it, when you have no parentheses and that negative sign just butted up against the positive like that. Usually when they write it, when you write it in math like that, when you have two symbols right up against each other, you'll parentheses 1 so you can tell you don't get all mixed up. You get used to seeing that too. It's a good question. 8 plus -5. Ethan, come up here and do method 1 for us. Let's see if you got it. The 0 pair method. Alright. Oh. What did he forget to do?
Mark out the last one.
His last pair, he forgot one of the positives, right? So there you go. So be careful when you do that. One way you can do it is circle them together if you want to. But good job. We got it figured out. Ron, show us the method 2 on that same one. See if we get the same answer.
Oh, and this one?
Yep. 8 plus -5.
8.
Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5. We get it?
3.
3. Why'd you go left?
Because left is the direction.
The negative, right? Good job, man. 4 plus -6. Somebody want to come do it one of the ways? Ross. Which way you want to do?
I'll do the method 1.
Method 1? Alright. Now watch him, make sure, it's really Ethan showed how easy it is to do it. It can happen to anybody. So, what am I left with? -2. Good job, ma'am. Kirsten, you want to come do the other way? So quiet. I just had to read her lips. Couldn't hear her. Where am I at? Ooh.
Wait, which one?
What?
What about this one? Which one am I at? 4.
2,
3, 4, 5, 6.
6. -2. So hold on though. Do it the way you're going to do the first time. Start at -6. And say I had +4.
The same thing.
3, 4.
See that?
It's reversible.
Yeah, because if I do 2 plus 3, what's the answer? 5. What if I do 3 plus 2?
5.
5. And adding, can't you swap them like that?
But it's just adding.
Just adding, exactly.
Subtraction.
Good job. So, you showed a good point there. Alright, let's turn to this board. The person who erased the board for me the first class did it. I didn't. -6 plus 5. What do you think, Tuck? You want to come up here? Do method 1 for us. Grab one. Grab the blue. I think it works better. what's left?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody agree?
Yes, sir.
McGee, come up here and just pretend there's a number line above this board and show me what you do. Where am I starting?
-6.
Alright, so where would it be if 0 was in the dead center of the board? Say right here is 0. So where are you going? You're going over there. Alright. So now what are you going to do from there? Just pick a place. We'll say that's -6. Now what are you going to do?
+5, -5, -4, -3, -2, and -1.
-1. There you go. What could you do if you had a paper that didn't have a number line on it? Draw yourself one so you can see it, right? The one you'll have today won't have one. It'll have a small one on the front, but on the back it doesn't have one. And I think it only goes to 6 each direction. Alright. So we'll just do these last couple really quick and move on to those others. -2 + 8. Which way do you want to do it?
Method 1.
And then 8 of these, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you get confused, you could always do this. Let's say I had 2 negatives and then 8 positives. This way, I don't forget to mark one out like Ethan did, just because it happens to everyone. It's happened to me. I'll forget to. And then you can just, and then what's left?
6.
6 of them, right? And they're what?
Positive.
They're positive, so it's +6. All right, now look at this next example. There's 3 numbers. You on those? Can you see those? Does that change anything, you think?
No.
Oh, so you're saying I could just line them up like that?
Yeah.
If I want to do method 1? So 12 of these. And what? 4? And then 2? Okay. And so I could do and so right here now, there's 8 of these left. None, and there's 2 of these. And what are these? Both positive, so what do I do? Just add them. So my answer is
+10.
what about if I did the number line? Can I just do it too? What's wrong, yeah?
Alright. Like, since there's 12 and 2 are positive, couldn't you just add those together?
You could have done that first.
Then redid the rewrote the problem.
You're exactly right. So you could have done 12 + 2 to begin with, and then just had +14 plus -4.
Okay.
Same thing. Because it's like we saw in addition, I can switch around the numbers and stuff, can't I? Just as long as I keep their signs, positive and negative. So what about on the number line? Can I do the same thing if I was down here at 12, let's say, right here? Or would I go?
Over
4? Huh? Well, let's go in the order that it has, Ron. So 4 to the left, right, Colton? So I'm on 11, 10, 9, 8. So there's the 4 to the left, and then I have +2, so 9, 10. So I can do the same thing, right, on the number line? So it doesn't change anything when I have a bunch. Alright, what about this one? It has 4 numbers. Does that change anything? No?
No. Do the same thing.
So I can do the same thing. 5 negatives, 3 positives, 2 negatives, and 8 positives. Start canceling them. So now, so I can keep going, can I? What could I do? I could write it a little easier and show what I had left, and then plus those 2. So now, what do I have when I combine those 2? How many? 4, but what are they? Negative. So then I could put the 4 of them, so I don't confuse, like crossing all the way across, and now just. And what's left?
+4, or
Positive 4, right? Anna?
Why don't you add the negatives together and then the positives together?
Add the negatives together to begin with? You're saying Are you saying once I've drawn it out?
Yeah.
And then I could just put, okay, I had 7 of the negatives. You could do that too. You could bring them over so all the negatives are on one side and all the positives.
Yeah.
Yep, you can do that. Y'all hear that, Kylie? Riley?
Can you do that with 3 numbers? Like on that one, if that would, if
Yeah, if I wanted to, I could have put out the 12 positives and went ahead and brought the other 2 positives over here so all my positives are together. And then had, yeah, you could do that so it's easier to see. Erwin, read that.
at night the temperature can reach a low of, minus 12 Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit, yeah. During the day, it rises 34 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the max temperature during the day?
Ooh, so what word in there tells me what type of math it is? Ethan.
Math.
-12. Okay, that tells me where I start. Kylie, what rises? What does it tell me? What kind of math? Addition, right? So I, like Ethan said, I had -12, and then it rises. So add 34. So how could I do this?
Well, it's probably too big. You don't want to draw out.
I wouldn't want to draw it. You're right. You could, but it'd take a while. What was that? What'd you notice? I could subtract them. Did everybody hear what Yvonne is saying? He's saying you could subtract it because he knows you're out on positive 34, right? He's saying you could start out on positive 34 since you can switch them around. And then you're going to come to the left 12. And when you go left, you're just subtracting 12, aren't you, from 34? Does everybody see that? Picture the number line. You're out on 34, way down there. Or way over there on that one if you want to look at it. And you're going to go left 12. And all you're doing as you go left is you're subtracting, aren't you? So he's saying he's just going to subtract 34 minus 12, right? So what do you get? 22. And it stays, is it positive or negative? Positive. And I don't have to write the positive sign now, do I? So does everyone see something you could use for a third method? What we just talked about.
Did y'all discover anything happening?
You added another method.
Well, yes, but we're talking about in the actual, what we're doing math-wise.
Did anything jump out at you?
You can flip them.
No, it ain't no mathematical. Don't be flipping.
Yeah.
No, mathematical. Did something jump out at you and you were going, ooh, look what's happening.
You can,
You can't, I didn't call him. Kirsty.
you can just subtract them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, when you say that, be specific. Subtract what? Which ones get that?
All the ones that are positive and negative, you can just subtract them.
Okay, how can we write that as a method?
I have no idea.
Let's be honest. Parker, you want to try to put it in a method?
If the positive number is larger than the
Well, you got to say something before that. You're on the right track, brother. You got to take what she said, put it into words, and then say what you were saying. Deep thinking right here, because there is another method that makes it a lot faster than method 1 and method 2. And it is upper level thinking. It's the upper level method. Kako?
When you have a positive number and a negative number, you can subtract the negative number from the positive number.
Oh, I like kind of what you said. All right, you kept talking too much. Good thing. Then what to put with that, Parker?
If the positive number is bigger, then you can just subtract the negative number.
Oh, okay. Y'all are there, but you're not quite there. All right, try it, Cole.
In the equation, you can drop the sign.
No, we're going with what they said without confusing everything. Bryce, try it.
I kind of have a question. Do the parentheses have to
same, Kirst?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You ignore the add sign and you put a minus sign.
No, I'm not gonna write down ignore something, no.
What do you think about? What if just the signs are the same on both numbers? What do you do? What did you notice on that?
For
Let's think about
instance,
that one first.
this one right here and this one right here. The signs were the same.
What'd you end up doing?
Just add
Add them and then what? What?
Put.
Negative or positive or something.
So you did what? You added them. If they're the same, you added them, and then you.
You put their signs.
There.
At the end of
You put their sign, or what's the K word for that?
Keep.
Keep their sign.
Key.
Keeper. Keep their
So, do you notice that if the signs are
The same.
the same, what did we do with the numbers?
Add.
Added them, and what about the sign?
Add. Well,
Just,
Kept it the same.
there you go.
Kept whatever sign they were. So that's part of the third method here.
Move sign to.
That's it, isn't it?
So if the signs are the same, you're gonna add them together.
Kylie, we're riding, girlfriend.
And keep the sign, right?
Right? Isn't that a lot quicker than drawing a bunch of negatives and positives and killing them off? Or going and finding you a number line and going down it? It's upper level thinking. Now, if you don't get this, can you still do this? Can you still do this?
yes, sir.
If you don't understand this, it's okay. Don't feel ashamed. You can always fall back on these and still get it until your brain is ready to accept this concept. It's okay.
I get it, but it only works if.
The signs are the same. Well, you're not finished yet. Oh.
So that's if the signs are the same. What'd you notice when they're different?
That's why he put number 1 on method 3. Now he's going to do number 2, because what's the other thing? Key word in that one was that. So what's going to be the key word in this one?
Different.
What do you think? Yeah, I saw your hand fly up.
Okay.
What do you
Here's
wanna
one
say?
where they were different. Of course, Ethan didn't put our answer out here. Okay. Here's signs are different. Here, signs are different. Look at the answers. Over there, signs are different. Signs are different. How did 8 and 5 turn into 3? How did 4 and 6 turn into 2?
Oh.
Yeah.
Subtract the bigger number by
That's it.
1.
Just your first word.
Subtract.
Subtract the numbers. You automatically know small ones from the big ones. We don't want to add extra words in our notes.
So if the signs are different, subtract.
Key word.
And then what? What, Bryce?
Then doesn't have to determine which positive.
Okay,
All right.
notice. Why was this one a positive answer?
Because the bigger number was a positive number.
Oh, there we go.
Winga. Why was this one negative?
Because the bigger number was a negative number.
So if the signs are different, subtract, and then put the bigger number symbol or sign on your answer.
That's what you do if they're different. Okay, good friend.
Now that you see this method, isn't that what you just did in your head, Yvonne, on that one? You figured it out ahead of time there, huh?
Now, how many of y'all like method 3 now?
It's going to make things a lot easier and a lot faster for you.
But you can also also get overconfident and go too fast, and your brain move too fast and mess up. So you got to be careful till you really get it in your mind. This stuff on method 3 is one of the most important things you will learn for your mathematics through the college. Maybe you don't use math in your real life job, whatever it is. But that right there, method 3, and what we teach you on Tuesday next week, subtracting integers, is the most important thing in mathematics for algebra, geometry, trigonometry, differential equations, calculus. This right here, adding and subtracting positives and negatives, you will use, and you've got to get it straight.